Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show is recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rick Schissler, your Silver Fox advisor and host of the Weekly Business Hour. Welcome again to another show of the Weekly Business Hour. Glad you've taken time to stop and listen to us, because I think we've got a lot of good information for you this week, some wonderful guests, and hopefully some wonderful thoughts and ideas that you can use today in your business. Well, we're going to start off today with the thought for the week entitled, How Hot is Your Business? It's summertime, and we're all thinking about the heat, so how hot is your business? Also, we have a special guest in the studio with us today in our business owner segment, Mr. Mike Mogell, owner of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Also joining us today will be in the expert corner a very special guest, Sabrina with Microsoft. Sabrina runs the local store for Microsoft in the Woodlands, and she's going to talk to us about what they have to offer to make your business easier to run. I will close the show with the Silver Fox tip of the week, getting it right. So sit back, grab your pad and pencil, and get ready to take notes as we talk about business right here on the Weekly Business Hour. And as we start the show, I want to remind you, if you have a question or a comment about the show, or even a question about your business, I encourage you to send me an email. My email address here at the station is rick, R-I-C-K, at irlonestar.com. That's rick at irlonestar.com. Please send me your questions or comments. I appreciate everyone who's done it in the past, and I hope you'll continue to do it as we go forward. Well, let's start, as promised, with our thought for the week. How hot is your business? You know, over the weekend, I was looking at the national weather, and I noticed that it's been 100 degrees or more all over the country. It's been that way in Boise, Idaho. Except at higher elevations and really deep in New England, we've had a lot of heat on us this past month or so. I know I was in New York back in May, and they hit the 90s back then. And my question to you, it's summertime, and what temperature do you run your business when the heat is on, when summertime's upon us? And I guess my point is to you is, you know, when summertime comes, or any other time of the year in particular where the weather is adverse, people don't really adjust their businesses upward. They don't consider in their marketing plan is, well, the weather outside, if you will, is going to be a little bit difficult for my customer clients to deal with, particularly if my clients are in my own backyard. So I need to adjust my business. I need to adjust some of the things I'm doing. And what I'm particularly talking about, as I alluded to, is your marketing. You know, a lot of people accept that certain times of the year are seasonal, and the summer could be one of those. It's seasonable business. It goes down in the summer, vacations, it's hot, all these excuses, and I believe that's what they are. I think if you take a stand, and I've seen this work before more than once, and look how you can increase your business instead of just accepting what it is, then you can make a hot time in the summer really work for you. So my encouragement is always to remember there are opportunities right in front of you, so grab them and grow your business. The Weekly Business Hour is where Montgomery County and businesses throughout the world come to talk about the latest in business news, ideas to improve your business, and to hear from some of our own local business leaders on how they have found success right here in Montgomery County. And a quick reminder before we go on, we're on Facebook. So if you haven't gone to our Facebook page, The Weekly Business Hour, and liked us, I would appreciate and encourage you to do so. Each show is posted to Facebook by Wednesday following the show, so you can set an alert for yourself or an alarm, and it will notify you when a show has been posted. You can go to the page, take a look at what the content of the show is, and if you see one or two things that you have an interest in, then listen to the show. Go to Facebook, the Weekly Business Hour page, and become one of our followers. Well, we're to that part of the show that I always enjoy, and I say that week after week, and it always kind of is the most fun we can have, and that's talking to local successful business people right here in Montgomery County on how they found success. And as I mentioned earlier, our guest today in the studio is Mr. Mike Mogell, owner of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rick. Glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad you have taken the time because, first of all, I love the name of your business, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Tell us a little bit about your business and what you actually do.
Well, it's kind of a unique name. We came up with it ourselves, liked it, and extended it, and came up with a logo. My wife actually designed it because I wanted to step out of that part of the look, and she's got a real good feel for the look of it. So Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. What we do is we do commercial office cleaning, small to medium-sized offices on a regular basis. Could be weekly, daily, monthly, whatever the client needs and to their specific use of their office. If they have a lot of traffic, if they have a lot of paperwork, they need a clean office. And that's what we do. We clean your office regular.
Well, you know what I really love about your title is, or the name of your business, and everyone's encouraged to do this. I can hear the name of your business and almost really guess or understand what business you're in. And that's difficult to do sometimes. So Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, that says it all.
It says exactly what we do, yes. And we pretty much stick to only office cleaning. So we do some move in and move out of offices. When they remodel an office, we do construction cleanup of that office. But what we really do is regular office cleaning service. That way, every morning you come in, it looks good, it feels good, it smells nice, and you have a more productive work life.
Well, you know, it makes a lot of sense to me. Now, you obviously have had some business background that brought you to the point that you went into business for yourself. Share that with our audience, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah, I had about 30 years of work life, the job, J-O-B, I guess you would say, working in the printing industry. I was always in corporate America. And so I spent a lot of years in that, and it was very consistent and steady. And then moved to a smaller office environment, like a smaller company, trying to make more money or doing whatever, expanding my outreach in sales, and it led to layoff, you know, that kind of stuff. It happens to people. But this business started back in 2002, part-time. Actually, it started with the in-laws, and they said, wow, the cleaning crew, we had to fire them because they stole from your dad. And I'm like, oh, man. And so she's like, I don't know what we're going to do. And I'm like, well, we won't ever steal from you, you know, and that kind of led to it. It was like, we will always show up, and we won't ever take anything but your trash. That's what we say. And we still live by that. And it's really helped us propel the business based on honesty and integrity.
So you say you started part-time. That's an interesting way to start within the family, so to speak,
Yeah.
Your first client or customer. Were you working full-time when you started the business?
I was actually. Actually, my wife and I were both working at the time. It was actually before we got married. We just got together and we decided, you know, we were going to make a life together. And then, so we needed to pay off some debt, and this opportunity came, and she liked to clean, and so did I, kind of thing. And so that's what we did. We started doing it, and it just kept growing. It was like one led to two, led to four, led to six. And by the time I knew it, well, it was from 2002 and 2013 is when I had my last layoff. Hey, we don't want you working here anymore. And, you know, we prayed a lot. We cried a few times. And then we decided that, you know, we'll never lay ourselves off. So that's why we started the business, went full time. I had 15 clients at the time. Now we have well over 30. And they're larger businesses, and they just keep coming, and it never left us. It kept calling us and kept calling us. And so, you know, we have a desire to serve, and that's a good thing to have in this business, you know.
Well, let's back up for a second, because you have an interesting situation. You were part-time, so to speak,
Yes.
in your business for 10-plus years.
Yes.
What kind of special challenges did that have for you and your wife as far as you're working, I guess, a day job, as I would call it, and then all of a sudden you've got a job at night? How did you keep motivated to keep doing that?
Well, debt. Yeah, debt's a good motivator. So we had a little bit of debt. We were trying to pay it off. We were trying to build a life together, and we wanted to get off on a good start. And if we ever decided to have children, which we have, but at that time I said, I don't want my children raised in a daycare. So we have to put enough together to where she doesn't have to work. So that's what we did. We were building that. I was building that business based on the fact that we could have a life beyond her working and beyond the kids being at daycare all day. So we really have accomplished that with this business, and we get to spend a lot of family time. She homeschools the kids now. So it really led to a lot. I mean, I was motivated enough to do it. I had some friends that needed some work, and so they came and helped me. And, you know, they came and go, come and go. But I just kept doing it, nights and weekends. And, you know, it got to the point where it was calling us instead of us needing it, you know. And then when I went full-time in 2013, on Valentine's Day, 2013, is when I got laid off for the last time. And, you know, it was such a gut-wrenching feeling. And I just decided that I don't ever want to feel that again, when you put your heart out for something and then they don't care about you. So I felt like I would never do that to myself. And that's what led us to making a full-time commitment to this business. And since then, it has grown. It's probably almost, if not 50 to 80% doubled in growth every year since 2013 when we went full-time. So.
Well, you know, Mike, I think that's an amazing story, and the ability to build up that security, if you will, by working part-time. It obviously required a lot of commitment on your part, your family's part, but you obviously had some end goals, if you will, some things you really were working for. So that's a neat story. Well, let me ask you, I mean, office cleaning, I personally, way back early in my career, was put in charge of a building when I was working in commercial real estate, and a building had cleaning services. One of the most challenging things I ever had to do was to hire, because they would typically not satisfy the tenants of the project. And I think I turned it over 6-7 times in the first year. And it was driven by the tenants. I mean, I am there as their landlord, and that's part of what they get is a cleaning service. So it really was motivating me. How do you market your business to get past some of that negativity that exists in your industry?
Well, as far as the people go, I work with them directly. I train them, I teach them, but then I give them some opportunity to run their own business, run their own time schedule, run their own activity, along with my guidance. But I look for the kind of people that are committed to doing the right thing. Like my dad used to say, integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's watching. So that's the kind of people that you have to have in this business. But there's cameras everywhere. You know, like there's a camera here. There's cameras everywhere, but you have to act like you're going to do the right thing no matter what. You have to be that kind of person. So you have to look for a good internal quality. You also have to background check, you know, and you have to work with them and develop them and train them, give them a little bit extra, give them some opportunity to grow and develop on their own. And people like that. Most of the people that work with me are part-time because it's a part-time kind of nights and weekends. And most people feel that nights and weekends are part-time. And that's what I get, a lot of part-time people. But the ones that really love to serve and clean and do the right thing and communicate well, which I teach them how to do, those are the ones that succeed with me.
You know, that's an interesting take, and I'd like to continue that discussion, but unfortunately we need to go to our break right now.
Nice.
So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mike a little bit more about how he motivates his people, because obviously in his business, people are very important, as they are in most businesses. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with you.
Remember to download the Lone Star Community Radio app from your Google Play Apple Store. Bring Montgomery County's community radio with you anywhere with your smartphone or tablet. If you are in the Conroe area, tune in on FM 104.5, 106.1. If you are on your computer, bookmark irlonestar.com as your internet radio station. Lone Star Community Radio, broadcasting 24/7 from the heart of downtown Conroe, Texas.
Attention movie lovers, The Ticket Stub is a new radio show servicing Montgomery County that is meant for you. The Ticket Stub is available live every Thursday at noon on FM 104.5 and 106.1, as well as anytime on irlonestar.com. Connor and Dick will let you know what's coming out in the theater, what is worth streaming, and what's going on in the world of film. The Ticket Stub, your home for movie talk.
You are listening to the Weekly Business Hour, and this is Rick Schissler, your Silver Fox advisor and host of the Weekly Business Hour. And we're in the midst of a conversation, I think a wonderful conversation, with Mike Mogell, who's the owner of Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Well, you know, Mike, when we went to the break, we were talking about motivating employees. And as you and I talked about prior to the show, I mean, employees really are the biggest part of your business, not only on your financial statement, but the fact is they are your business. That's what you're selling, is the quality of your people. Share with us a little bit more about your training and how you really keep people motivated, because you mentioned they're part-time. I imagine that is a little bit unique as far as the kind of motivation you have to give them.
Yes. Well, you know, we have certain schedules that based on what the client needs and wants are. Some are a couple times a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays. Some are 3-4 times a week. Some are 5-6 days a week. Most of them are nights, weekends. We do have some during the day, but I kind of tailor it to their needs. Like, when do you want to work? How many hours do you want to work? Do you want to work on weekends? Do you want to just work nights during the week? And then I kind of ask them some questions there, and I fit a piece of business into their kind of system. They can make a little extra. I also give them an opportunity to generate more money based on, it's not just an hourly thing. So the job may be based on a certain amount, and they can enhance that by working more efficiently, adding extra benefits in for the client. Those kind of things generate more income for them on a regular basis, and I have some systems in place for that. We also have a specific training system that talks about how to do the office cleaning in the right way. Because if you start at the bottom and then you go to the top, everything from the top falls to the bottom, and you got to do it over again. You know what I mean? So you got to start top down. You got to work left to right, or whatever that system is that you put in place. I also have a detail system that I talk to them about, as far as how to keep an eye on the details without overbearing yourself. It's kind of piece at a time, you know, high, middle, low kind of thing. And then we walk through those steps. I also ask them for a lot of their input, because once they're doing the work, then they've seen some ways they can improve, or they can make enhancements. And that really helps motivate people, because they want to be a part of it, you know. So making them a part of it, helping them make their own decisions, helping them help me make decisions, you know, that really gets them involved. So I think that's what sets the people apart that I'm working with.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. I've got to ask you this question. Working with people, and I've done it several times in my career where they were the key part, but always have people in any business I have. In the 15 years now, you've had a lot of experience. What has been the biggest surprise that's ever happened to you as far as in the business?
The biggest surprise?
Yeah, what has surprised you in 15 years?
Well, you know, I went to meet with a client, and I asked him, I haven't talked to you in like 6 years, really, face to face. I mean, we just keep doing business together, because some of my clients are still from 2002, 2006, 2008, and they're still with us. I said, why are you still here? I mean, you're still sending me a check. I still clean your office. She goes, hey, you always show up. You don't take anything but the trash. You communicate well. What else do I want in a cleaning service? You know, so it's really kind of, you know, what really surprises me is the fact that people stay when you do the right thing, you know. And I've heard a lot of people talk about their cleaning service not being so good. Well, I think it has to do with communication, really. You know, I go in there and I talk to them, or I shoot them an email. You know, I had been in contact with this person via email or text message, just not face-to-face. But we always communicate, like if they run out of light, you know, they have a light out. We tell them, hey, you got a light out. Oh, if they run out of this or that product, we communicate that to them. If their door handles are loose, we'll snug them up a little bit, because we know how to do those kind of things. My people communicate to me, then I go in there and I look around and I see, hey, maybe something's right or wrong. I just take care of it right then, you know. And they're amazed at the fact that I actually get involved and do the work myself. I think that came from me doing it for so long, that, you know, when I go to your office, if there's something not right, I'll just fix it. You know, I don't want to wait for the crew to come back next time. I'm going to do it right then and there. I'll make notes and instruct, but I guess the thing that amazes me the most is the fact that it's a very good business if you take care of people, you know, if you care.
You know, you make it sound so simple.
It is
ABC, so to speak. Do this, this, and this, and the clients will be there and they will stay there.
Yes. I found that if you add value in other ways too, like what else do you need help with? Can I put you in touch? Like a lot of times they say, hey, there's always cobwebs. Well, you don't have a good pest control company, because if you don't have any pests, you won't have any spiders, you won't have any webs. But if the webs keep coming back, that means you need better pest control. So those kind of things, I'll offer that service. I'll offer this service. Any help I can to the customer, whatever it may be. I've connected them with transportation services before when they need that. But I kind of put myself out there as a guy that can not only do this job for you, but can help you any way that you need help. I'm willing to.
Well, I think that's a very important thing to do today, and I try to do the same thing. You mentioned when we were discussing your business and your marketing and whatnot that you're involved with a B&I group. Tell us a little bit about that and how it's helped your business.
Well, that's pretty much all the marketing I do, really. It's a Business Network International. It's an international company. There's a lot of small businesses in there, and we have a group of about 30 people in my group. And last year we transferred over $6 million in business within those 30 members. That's a lot of business to be transferred within people, and it builds really strong relationships. It talks about, being visible, being credible, and being profitable. And that's kind of their goal. It's about giving. It's really what my business is about. See, if I help you, you're going to help me eventually. Or somebody else will help me, and I will help someone else. But within that group, we share each other's business opportunities. We bring each other to the table with our clients, and we add business. Most of my business comes through referral networking. And I suggest anybody in small business being a referral network-based situation.
Well, and like you said earlier, it sets you up, so to speak, or provides you with a list of vendors in a variety of industries and businesses to refer into your clients.
Yes, it does.
And as being a good quality referrer, as I like to say, or referral source, that I think builds your reputation with your clients.
Yes.
Because you become the answer person or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it helps out a lot. And I went on vacation for a week or two, actually 2 weeks this year, first time in a long time. One was family related, one was just vacation. But other than that, I received 6 referrals when I was on vacation, 2 when I got back, all while I was out of pocket. So that's what referral networking does for you. It also teaches you to align with certain companies that can help your business grow, or companies that you need to support what you do. And in my industry, that would be like restoration companies I call in sometimes when they have a leak or a flood, carpet cleaning companies I call in when they have a lot of carpet and we don't have time to do it. Even though we do those services, sometimes we call in somebody, power washing, a moving company, whatever that may be. It enhances the relationship. It also makes you the go-to guy for your client. They call you up and they go, hey, can you help me? And you're like, yeah. And so that relationship becomes tighter and more solid, even though it's not about your work exactly.
Right. And you and I both know, as I hope everyone listening knows, building relationships with clients, vendors, employees, whatever, that's the key to success in business.
Yeah, it really is.
Let me ask you this. I mean, obviously you're not perfect, because I haven't met the perfect business person yet, or a perfect person for that fact. When you get a complaint, what is your process to handle that complaint?
Good. I'm glad you asked that, because that's an interesting point. When I go in to see my clients, if they have a problem, I have listed on my in my marketing materials that we will handle any problem tomorrow, next day. Most cleaning companies, I don't know if they do or don't do that, but that's our philosophy is if you got a problem, we're going to handle it next day. Whether it's one of the workers come back to take care of it or I come back myself. But most of the time I go to the client personally and look at what was not right or what was wrong, whatever. And I take notes and pictures. And then I go out to the car and I bring my stuff in because I always have some stuff with me. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm fixing the problem. They're like, well, I just thought you were going to tell your people to correct that. Well, I am. But you shouldn't have to deal with it any longer than today. So I'm just going to fix it. Then they're going to know in the future this has to be taken care of. And then everybody's happy. As opposed to letting you sit for another week and brew on it or whatever. Or go, oh, yeah, we'll get that next time. We don't do that. We just take care of it right now. And it builds relationships. I have a lot of clients expand the service with me because We communicate so well. We go in and we actually ask for it. Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need this? And we're always asking them to enhance the service within, because it's better to build business within a client than to have to go out and find new all the time,
Right. Well, that makes a lot of sense. And, the idea that many small businesses, and I've seen it time and again, and heck, I may have been guilty of it myself back when I was young and didn't know anything. But the fact is that if you handle the complaint head on, right up front, get it done, get it off the table, remove that negativity, if you will, from the conversation, from what's going on, makes a heck of a difference.
It does. And, my clients all know that I'm in the work as well as in the business, because I start every job myself. Even if I have 2 or 3 people working that job, I'll be there myself for the first few visits, just to make sure that they understand what the customer wants and needs are, what to focus on and what not to focus on, maybe, because every client's different. Some like the bathrooms clean, some just like the lobby taken care of. Some like, everything detailed, dusted up high. Some, are really concerned about their furniture and the upholstery. But everyone has a different need, and I always ask every client, what are you really looking for? What are you not getting now? Because most of the clients that I have already have a service. What are you not getting now that we can, take care of for you? And, it's been really working.
Well, it sounds like it has. You've been at it for 15 years. Well, as we wind down our conversation today, a lot of people like to understand where somebody's going in their business, because people are always, what am I going to do next week, next year, or particularly 3 to 5 years out? What does the future hold for you and your family and this business?
Well, first I'd like to give you something, Rick. This little glass cleaning cloth. I want you to clean your glasses because my future's real bright.
I love it.
I'd like yours to be too.
What a great giveaway.
But yeah, it's a good tool for me. I've always looked for a giveaway, but glass cleaner, phone cleaner, monitor cleaner, it works really well. And we do that stuff anyway when we're in your office. But I want you to have that. But my business is moving in the direction of, $1 million company. I mean, that's where everybody wants to go. They want to take their business to a level that reaches heights and success. I'd like to pass it on to my kids one day, possibly, sell it and retire. You never know, but it's about building a good business and having great clients and stability. I want people to just go, man, that guy really took care of us. That's really what I'm looking for.
Well, Mike, you've told a wonderful story today, and I deeply appreciate you taking time to be here. If people want to contact you and talk about business, or maybe more importantly, talk about potentially using your services, what's the best way for them to do it?
So my name is Mike Mogell. The company is Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, and that's at cleansweepofficecleaning.com. Or my number is 832-689-7996.
Well, again, Mike, thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our bottom of the hour break, and I hope you'll stay with us. We come back, I'm going to share some ideas, my Silver Fox tip of the week, and I hope you will come back and listen to it. So please stay with us.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
This is Rick Schissler, your Silver Fox advisor and host for the Weekly Business Hour. I want to thank you for listening to us today, and I want to mention before we get started in this segment that you too can be a sponsor of the Weekly Business Hour. All you need to do is to reach out to me via email, rick@irlonestar.com, and I'll provide you with the information. We'd love to have you as a sponsor, particularly if you're a local business. So please take the opportunity to reach out and at least look at this opportunity. Well, I'm going to talk about my Silver Fox thought of the week. We're a little bit out of order on the show today, but the opportunity to have Microsoft join us on the air in their local location in the Woodlands Mall was too much to pass up. I think they're going to have some good information for you as a listener about the services and the opportunities they offer. So I switched places with them. So now we're going to talk about the Silver Fox Thought of the Week. And my title this week is Serving the Customer After the Sale. You know, that's an important thing that I think many businesses kind of either brush off or they treat very lightly. You know, we've completed the sale or the service of the product or the service, and then we move on. Yes, a number of businesses over the years have a little follow-up piece that they drop in the mail or email, but really, do you follow up after the sale and try to develop that customer, as Mike was talking about in the earlier segment, about building your relationship with that customer? And that's what I really want to talk about. You know, the thing is that there's a very simple reason that you might not be able to serve the customer. You're out of inventory or you're short of people if you're in the service business and the technicians are all booked up. But reality is you need to be able to deliver your service or products in a way that keeps that customer coming back for more. To me, that's the main objective in this part of your business process. And the first step, and Mike even talked about it, and I appreciate that, is to communicate with the client, the customer, at every step of the way. And that communication really is the strength or the key to building a strong relationship. There's a lot of things you can do to develop, and mind you, you have to develop loyal customers. They just don't happen. They just don't really like your service or really appreciate your product, and all of a sudden they're loyal. You have to do more than just deliver at the time of sale. There's a lot of things you can do to make this happen, and I encourage you to try to build a process around that. I mean, the first thing is, what can I tell my customer? What kind of information would be helpful to help build this relationship? That's different for every business out there. The idea that you could surprise them by sending them an additional bit of information, perhaps a giveaway, some way that you and your business are enhanced in their minds and become somewhat of a priority. You know, the human mind's a great thing, but it only can hold so much information. And if you have an opportunity and you follow through on it and you are able to be someone that is at the front of their mind, on the top of their list when they need a service, then they're going to turn to you. So what can you do to surprise your customer? There's lots of different things you can do. One of them is a regular check-in. Not intrusive. Could be an email, could be a text, it could be a simple letter, a card, just checking in on them. And a lot of folks shy away from this. They say, well, you know, I can't quantify what that does. In other words, I send out 100 of these emails, texts, postcards, whatever, and there's no way to quantify that I'm getting any value from them. Let me assure you, if you have built a strong business based on relationships and you followed some kind of process to stay in touch with the client, and you've added a surprise from here to there, from here occasionally there, then, and you've built a strong business, it is an important thing. If you don't believe me, just take it away. Pull that out of your process and quit doing it and see what happens. The other thing you can do is package your service, your product, in a way that's different from your competition, that it's intriguing, that it's unusual. You know, I remember the first time I had a service technician come to our home, and he had an iPad, and he did the whole transaction right there on an iPad and took the credit card for the service, everything right there. Let me tell you something, that made me remember their business. Now today, that's commonplace, but the fact is the entire transaction took place. They emailed me a copy of the invoice. It was neat. It struck me as, hey, these people are leading edge. They're out there. They know their business. And these are the folks that I want to do business with. So it's an amazing thing. And there's always the opportunity to do that. I had another business leave me a business card. The actual technician says, look, if you ever need service, call me. The reality is that phone number was answered at the office. And the person answering said, well, they're out. How can we help you? But the reality is, I like the idea that I had a service person. Even though the company was somewhat large, I had someone I could identify with and absolutely made me want to do business with them. So look at how you package your product. Another thing in the communication process is how do you communicate the result? You know, some companies will do what I call a follow-up survey. A lot of times they're too lengthy, but 2 or 3, 4 questions. We were there. This is what happened. Tell us about your experience. Share with us. I've even had that happen in a number of restaurants. Think about what they're doing. They're just trying to build a relationship with you. They want to open a door where you can voice your opinion. And I guarantee if they're smart business people, they want to hear that complaint. They want to know about that complaint, not only to come back to you and offer some satisfaction, but to make sure that their employees, their business, the process is right, and people are being corrected and directed in the right direction so that they can better serve the clientele. So feedback from surveys is important. Another thing is a phone call, a personal phone call from someone at the office, just checking in, don't want to take too much time. I want to make sure. That's happened to me more than once. Think about it. If you're not doing some of these things and your competitors are, then you're way behind in the game out there. And you need to really, if I would say, since we're here in Texas, saddle up and get with the program, because you're going to lose if you don't do something. The last point I'd like to mention about following up the sale and serving the client is how do you deliver bad news? Every once in a while, we're going to make a mistake. Every once in a while, we're going to miss a delivery, or we're not going to be able to fix something to the client's satisfaction. You need to be prepared, in my opinion, ahead of time. Put a little thought in. How are you going to deliver bad news? What's going to happen? Not only the phone call or the text or the email that says, hey, we can't get there today, we apologize, but what you do to follow up with that. What is your process? The fact that you've delivered that bad news, what are you going to do for that customer to make it up to them? That's critical, because most people will accept a mistake, but they are obviously on alert, if you will, to see what you're going to do, not only to make it right, but to tell them that they are a valued customer. And that's the key. You need to make every customer you have feel like they're valued. I'd like to switch gears now for a few minutes and finish up this segment. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we are blessed to have Microsoft join us today. Sabrina from their local store in the Woodlands is going to talk to us about the products and services. It's a lot of interesting information they have to offer, and I hope you'll stick around for that, because I think they can really help small business, and that's who we're talking to today. But to set the stage for that, I want to throw out the 3 questions that help you make the right technology investments. This is something that I've been talking about for years, and I picked this up most recently last year in a blog that was put on Inc. Magazine, put out by Inc. Magazine. 3 critical questions when you're looking at your technology. The first is, how much speed do you really need in your business? I have actually been in the field with one of my clients, an IT provider, and seen that question asked and watched the reaction. What do you mean speed? Well, how much speed do you really need in the office? Why do you want to pay for more speed if you don't need it? And speed of the internet is expensive when you get up in 1 gig and all these things. But the reality is you need to make sure not only you have enough, but you don't pay for too much. So you need to evaluate your business and what you're doing. Are you using tablets with your service people? As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of basic questions. And the reality is the need for speed continues to grow. So you have to be aware that what you buy today might not be adequate down the road. Second critical question in today's IT environment is the cloud for your business. We hear a lot about the cloud, about how competitive it is, and cloud services are inexpensive, but you need to be careful here. You need to ask that question as it relates to your business, because sometimes the cloud is the right solution. I think for offsite backup, it's a no-brainer, but for day-to-day operations and the fact that every time one of your employees hits a key on their computer, they've got to rely on a cloud service. The up and download can delay. It can slow your business down, and I've seen that happen. So you need to evaluate what the cloud actually can provide for you. And the last question you need to ask, and this one, gosh, is perhaps the most critical: how do I protect my information? How do I protect my customers' data? And that is such a high priority. To me, it's the highest priority today in the small business world as well as the world in general. We constantly are made aware, we read, we hear about people have been able to hack and get into computer systems and cause a lot of damage. And this happens to small businesses. More than half of all cybercrime, 60%, is directed at small business. And it really is no wonder, because small businesses either don't have the resources or they don't have the expertise to know how to protect their information and how to protect their security, or provide security, for their data. It's very important that you find the right people to work with you. Your IT provider is a critical part of your business, and they need to be the ones to provide you with the information and the choices of how to protect your business. Because right or wrong, IT is critical, in my opinion, to every business, whether you sell online or not. Well, those are some thoughts. I hope you will stay with us as we have a discussion with Microsoft and the services and the information they can provide you. So we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we'll be talking with Sabrina, the head of the Microsoft store in the Woodlands. So please stay with us. Thank you.
Our talk shows and music shows are looking for sponsors. Want to expand your brand awareness? Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your question. Get seen on TV or YouTube and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Sponsor your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
You're listening to the Weekly Business Hour, and this is Rick Schissler, your Silver Fox advisor and host of the Weekly Business Hour. We're in our fourth segment today, and again, I appreciate you taking time to listen to the show. And remember, if at any time you have a question or comment about the show, or just have a general question about your own business, please remember, send me an email, Rick, R-I-C-K, at irlonestar.com. Now let's get over to our special guest for this week, and that's Sabrina with Microsoft. Sabrina, welcome to the show.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sabrina Dziubarczyk. I'm the store manager at the Microsoft store in the Woodlands Mall, and I'm excited to talk about my store, how we work with the local community, and our many small and mid-sized business resources and workshops.
Well, Sabrina, I appreciate you taking time. I became aware of what a great resource your Microsoft store is in working with nonprofits here in the Montgomery County area, and sat in on a presentation made by some folks from your store. You guys offer a lot of services to the small business community as well as nonprofits. Share with us some of the special things you do for small business.
Absolutely. The Microsoft Store is the public face of Microsoft, and we are the place for every individual, community, and business to directly experience all that's possible with Microsoft, whether in the physical or digital properties. We're designed to support the needs of local business owners and entrepreneurs. We offer best-in-class products, cloud solutions, events, support, and training that empowers small businesses in every community to achieve more. It's kind of like having your very own help desk and IT support right in our store. We also have very knowledgeable and friendly associates, and they're on hand every day to help sell and support the technology that we offer. And customers can discover, learn about, and of course buy a cutting-edge array of products and services at the Microsoft Store and on Microsoft.com.
Well, let me ask you, you also have a number of events in your store from time to time that are open to anyone who'd like to attend. Share with us some of the events you do or plan to do in the future.
We have events that are for the public. They're always free. We have business events like the networking events for local businesses to come in together and meet each other. We have workshops, trainings, and seminars on topics like Surface Hub, quick and easy online advertising, how to stay in touch with customers, and they're all led by Microsoft and industry experts. We also have office hours every Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. where you can come in and get to know our business sales specialist and our business expert and connect with other business owners for personalized guidance from business sales. And you can also experience things like our Surface Hubs and our offerings like Office 365. In addition, we offer MIE training, which is training for teachers free of charge, and it's for continuing education. We'll be starting that in August, so we're really excited to offer that as well. And then, not to mention that, we have workshops on Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote, Office 365, Windows 10, and personal trainings as well.
Well, let me ask you, if I'm interested in possibly attending one of your workshops or programs that you offer, where's the best place for me to find out what your schedule is?
You can look at our schedule at MicrosoftStore.com and just search the Woodland store. We also have two other stores in the Houston area, one in Galleria and one in Baybrook, and we offer similar workshops each week. So if you work in one area and live in the other, you can get a pretty broad offering of workshops and classes in all of our locations.
You know, one of the things that also amazed that I learned about the Microsoft Store was you have business specialists there on site or even available to come to my location. Tell us a little bit about what the business specialist can do for me.
Sure. Each store has a business sales specialist that's dedicated to building business relationships and awareness in the community. They're highly trained experts, and they provide consultations both in-store and on-site at the customer's office to help customize the right technology for your business. We offer customized business solutions, Surface membership, and accelerate your business for customers to buy or lease great business-grade products and services with all-inclusive and flexible payment plans. The Microsoft Store specialists educate customers with tutorials about Windows devices, Office 365, OneNote, Skype, OneDrive, and more. Personal technology trainings are available for $49 for an hour or $99 for a year of unlimited use. And in addition to our business sales specialists, we also have business experts, which is a new position in all of our stores that help further the relationship with businesses in the community.
Let me ask you, I want to back up a second because I really want to make sure people heard what you said. $99 for a year. What does that do for me?
You get unlimited use of personal trainings. So what we always tell our customers is, as you're going through and you're using your technology, write down questions you have or what you'd like it to do for you that you don't know if it's possible or you can't quite figure out. Schedule a personal training at your convenience online, and when you come in, you can bring those questions with you, and we can tell you exactly how to do what you're wanting to do, and if it's possible, and help make your technology more productive for you.
Well, I happen to believe that service is just a wonderful buy for any business, the opportunity to get that ongoing training, because that's always an issue in small business. Questions always come up, and for $99, you just can't beat that. Well, let me ask you, you have an answer desk. How does that work for the small business person?
Answer desk advisors help small and mid-sized businesses keep their devices running smoothly. They're on hand to answer technical questions, make recommendations, and we offer full service and support on all software and hardware. In fact, they'll answer questions and attempt to fix any device with Microsoft software free of charge, regardless of what device you have or where you bought it. So it's like having your very own help desk and IT support right in your store. We offer services including software repair, virus and malware removal, PC tune-ups for increased performance, hardware upgrades and installation, data backups, diagnostics, OneDrive setup, and data recovery. You can come into the store anytime and make an appointment in store, or you can schedule an appointment at MicrosoftStore.com.
So I can come into the store or I can call on the phone. Is that correct?
You can call, or you can just go online to MicrosoftStore.com and schedule an appointment online, and we'll be ready when you come into the store.
You know, that, again, another amazing service that I think could benefit small business in a big way. Well, let me ask you, as we wind down our segment here, what are the office hours that you maintain, and where is your location in the Woodlands Mall?
Our location is on the bottom floor of the Woodlands Mall, very close to Nordstrom, and right next to Starbucks, which is the all-time favorite, so it's easy to find. We're open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. We do offer before our trainings, so before opening training. So if you want a training where the store isn't open and it's nice and quiet and you have kind of the freedom of all the technology in the store, you can get a hold of us and we can schedule that at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We even have some of them as early as 7:30.
Well, a lot of neat things you offer. Sabrina, I deeply appreciate you and Microsoft joining us today, because I think the small business community in a big way can benefit from the services and the products you offer. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Thank you, Rick. I am really excited for the opportunity to share how Microsoft stores are resourced for small and mid-sized businesses. And we'd love to see you in our store or any of the 3 stores in Houston. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, and have a wonderful day.
You too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to the end of another show. I want you to do me a favor. Put a note on your calendar next Monday right here on IRLoneStar.com at 11 o'clock to join us again. And remember, you too can sponsor the Weekly Business Hour. Just contact me, Rick, at IRLoneStar.com. Thank you for joining us, and remember to stay in touch with what's happening in Montgomery County right here on Lone Star Community Radio.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at IRLoneStar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@IRLoneStar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show was recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas, at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.